Hey, what's going on, guys? Alex here with TFL Bike. I have some really exciting news to share with you today from Harley-Davidson because they just announced 8 new motorcycles. So we have a lot to dive into in this video. I don't have Case sitting next to me right now, who is traditionally our Harley-Davidson guy. He actually owns one himself, and I'm more of like the performance sport bike guy, but I'm really excited about these Harley-Davidsons, more so than I've been about any other Harley model we've ever covered, and that's because most of these are performance focused, and that really gets my blood flowing. So without further ado, let's jump right into the first bike, which is the Street Glide ST and also the Road Glide ST. So the Street Glide and the Road Glide are Harley's big American touring bikes. If you want to do a lot of miles on your Harley, it's probably going to be a Street Glide or a Road Glide. But they've added the ST to the model names this year to signify that these are the performance models. And the reason this is kind of starting might be because of King of the Baggers. As you know, there's been a racing series with these big baggers over the past few years. We actually covered a video on Kyle Wyman's Screaming Eagle Harley-Davidson Road Glide, so check that out if you're interested. But the popularity of that series, I think, has really made the push for more performance-oriented Harley-Davidsons and big baggers, and that's what these are. So there's a focus on weight, performance, and power with these new ST models. They've gotten rid of the passenger seat, made them faster, more nimble, and given them more lean angle. So how did they make all this happen? Well, first of all, a new engine. This gets the Milwaukee 8 117 powertrain with the heavy breather, and it's tuned specifically for the exhaust that is on this bike. And this 117 cubic inch V-twin from Harley-Davidson was previously only available on the CVO bikes. So this is the first time you can get the 117 from the factory right in a production bike. So there's a sportier engine making more torque, but the styling's also different, this being the sportier, kind of badass version of the Street Glide and Road Glide bikes. They've blacked out a lot of the accents on here. They added some bronze bits to the wheels and the engine, and the paint schemes are a lot more subdued and a lot more subtle than you would find on the non-ST models. Blacks, grays, really just kind of dark, mean-looking colors. Harley-Davidson is also offering what they are calling a performance bagger trim kit, which gives you the 131 stage 4 kit, bumping it up to 131 cubic inches. That's basically the same kit they're using in the King of the Baggers series on Kyle Wyman's bike. You also get a high flow exhaust with that package and Olean suspension, which is, again, the same as what they're using on the race bike. Harley-Davidson is calling these ST models a shortcut to performance bagger dreams. So for the past few years, we've seen a lot of customization in these big baggers, people making them sportier and more performance-oriented, and now Harley-Davidson is offering a model like that from the factory. Sure, you can still modify it and tune it up and make it more powerful, but they're giving you a better starting point right from the factory, from the dealership. And if you're interested in the Street Glide ST or the Road Glide ST, they will both start at $30,000. All right, now moving to the lowrider, and there's 2 lowrider models. One of them is all new for 2022. Let's start out with the lowrider S, which is the one that's just kind of been revised. This also gets the 117 powertrain versus the old 114 that was in it before, bumping torque up from 119 foot-pounds to 125 foot-pounds. So the lowrider is kind of your more slim package. It's got the same character as the big touring bikes with the big powerful engine, but they're lighter, more nimble, and just like the Street Glide and the Road Glide, this is also getting that new Milwaukee 8 117 engine. In addition, you're also getting a new exhaust this year on the lowrider S. Ride height has also been increased to give it a little more lean angle, so you can take corners a little more aggressively in the canyons. And then they also moved the instrumentation from the tank to up on the handlebars. According to Harley, this is one of the biggest complaints with the bike from owners, was that the instrumentation was just too hard to see. So they relocated that. And now we'll move on to the ST, which is the all new model here. Basically, take a Lowrider S, throw on a front fairing, throw on saddlebags, and you have yourself an ST. There's a few other things like the Rockford Fosgate audio system you get on the ST, also cruise control. But basically, people have been taking lowriders and figuring out a way to mount fairings and saddlebags up to them for some time. Now Harley is offering that from the factory, so you get the look of a bagger, but in a much smaller, slim package, again, with lots of performance and a bike that should be really fun to ride. Now, the front fairing was actually inspired by some older bikes in the past. So if you look at the FXR and the FXRT, the fairing on those bikes looks very similar to this new Lowrider ST, especially when you look at these two little side gills that are next to the headlight. But I think it's a pretty good looking bike. Big, full-size baggers tend to intimidate me a little bit. I'm a small guy, but I always want to ride them. So having something that's a little more nimble, lighter weight, smaller, but still has the performance and the look of a big bagger is really cool, and I would love to see this take off. I think it's a really cool idea. The Lowrider S is coming in at $18,349, and then the Lowrider ST with the fairing and the bags will start at $21,749, and both of these bikes will be available in March. Now, lastly, let's talk about CVO for a little bit. CVO stands for Custom Vehicle Operations. Harley started doing this in 1999, and basically it allows them to take their bikes and just really customize the heck out of them and make them really, really cool, make them stand out bikes. And this year they're really focused on the paint. So they're really going for bold, saturated colors, lots of contrast, unlike the other bikes we've talked about in this video, the Lowrider S, the ST. All the ST bikes have, grays and blacks and murdered out paint schemes, but the CVO bikes, they're going to be much brighter, much more in your face. They're also working with Gunslinger to do some hand painted stripes and airbrush shadows and things like that. They're really cool looking bikes. Also, according to Harley, flames are back in style. I don't know if I agree with that or not, but they're doing flames on these bikes this year. So I guess let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are on that. Besides the flames, they do a couple of other special accents, like doing a lot of the chrome in a darkened chrome, also Alcantara accents on the seats, things like that. And then there's also a focus on tech in all these CVO bikes. So a lot of them have heated grips, heated seats, audio systems, again, from Rockford Fosgate. And this year, the 4 CVO bikes that are available are the Street Glide, the Road Glide, the Road Glide Limited, and the Tri Glide. So there you go, 8 new motorcycles from Harley-Davidson, 4 from their CVO, Custom Vehicle Operations lineup. You then have the new ST versions of the Street Glide and the Road Glide, the improved Lowrider S, and then the all-new Lowrider ST with the saddlebags and the fairing. I really love what Harley-Davidson is doing with these bikes, giving them more ride height, allowing them to lean over more, giving them more power, bigger engines, and murdered out paint schemes. I love it. Absolutely love it, especially with this King of the Baggers series that's just taking off. It's really cool to see people embracing the performance side of Harley-Davidson and them kind of making a return to that. No longer are we seeing Harley-Davidsons that are really driven by how much luggage they can carry and what speakers are on them and how much chrome is on them, but it's all about performance and speed and having fun while you're riding, and I can definitely get behind that. So let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Case, who's not with me today, will be actually flying out sometime soon to ride some of these, so stay tuned for that. And as always, head on over to tfl-studios.com so you don't miss any of the content or coverage in the motorcycle world. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.